I recently picked up the digital deluxe edition of Ghost of Tsushima on Steam, and my only regret is that I didn't play this game sooner. It was originally released in 2020 by Sucker Punch to great reviews, but to me, it was always a game that I meant to get to eventually. Of course, eventually kept getting pushed back until I finally pulled the trigger on it this weekend during Steam's Black Friday sale, and I'm so happy that I did. The first thing that struck me about this game is just how beautiful it is. Even playing it on my Steam Deck, I'm constantly stopping to admire the scenery and the light cascading through the trees. I've mostly foregone fast traveling as the map itself isn't huge and you can get from one place to another fairly easily on your horse, but also because the journey itself is often worth the extra couple of minutes it takes to get where you want to go. The beauty of Japan is wonderfully juxtaposed by the absolute horror that is the first Mongol invasion of Japan. Everywhere you go, you see remnants of the atrocities committed against the Japanese people. Houses burned down, people tied to stakes or otherwise slaughtered. It really brings you into the main character Jin's world as it crumbles around him, encouraging you and him to fight for his homeland. It gives the narrative motion and pushes you toward completing his task of recruiting other warriors to help free his uncle from Mongol captivity, to hopefully push the invading force out. The story is compelling, if a bit basic. It opens with a battle of the main character Jin's samurai clan versus the Mongol invaders, which goes extremely poorly. Most of the clan members are massacred and their leader, Jin's uncle, is captured. Jin only survives by the grace of Yuna, a thief and warrior in her own right, who nurses Jin back to health in the hopes that he'll be able to help her locate her brother, Taka. It's a mutually beneficial bargain beyond Jin getting to live, as Taka is a blacksmith and can help forge some things necessary to the plot. Along the way, you pick up other warriors to aid in the plan to rescue Jin's uncle, completing tasks for them in exchange for their help when the time comes. Most of these missions come down to help this group kill a lot of people, and that's honestly great, because the combat is probably the best part of this game. You start off as an able samurai. Given that Jin is already a full-fledged member of the clan, this makes sense. You can handle yourself well from the jump, something that I'm not super used to, having just spent most of the year playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, where the main character Henry can hardly hold a sword, let alone take on skilled warriors. Jin is deadly from the word go and only becomes deadlier as the game progresses. When you're in a groove, the combat feels like a dance as you parry and dodge before landing killing blows on your enemies. They come in different types, some with shields, others with spears, and you can switch up your stance to one more suitable to your opponent, which I think is really great and adds an extra layer of strategy to each combat encounter. You can choose to approach combat in two distinctive ways. Either charge right into an enemy's camp, alerting everyone to your presence and taking them head on, or use stealth to avoid having to fight multiple enemies at once. What this game does differently than most is it weaves that choice into the story. Jin, being a samurai, is constantly trying to live up to the code by which those warriors lived. This means that sneaking up on people and killing them is considered dishonorable. In my mind, it's more of a desperate times call for desperate measures situation, but I'm interested to see how the game reacts to my occasional stealth kills going forward. Will Jin ever have to confront the actions he sees as dishonorable? Will he cut himself some slack given the circumstances? Or will he accept that what he did was effective but not in line with the samurai code? It's an interesting situation for a protagonist to be in. So often gameplay is dictated by killing. Nathan Drake, for instance, is a treasure hunter, but also a mass murderer, something that the games usually shy away from confronting head on. I hope that this is addressed as the game progresses. I'll certainly touch on that aspect once I finish the story and put out a full review. I'm coming to the end of Act 1 of the story, and I must say that I highly suggest checking it out if you can still find it on sale. I look forward to continuing Jin's goal of freeing his uncle and his homeland from the Mongol invaders. The title is so incredibly fun from a gameplay perspective while giving you enough story to keep you engaged. So, have you played Ghost of Tsushima? If so, what are your thoughts on it? And should I try the sequel, Ghost of Yotei, once I finish this one? Let me know in the comments, and feel free to suggest other games you think I might like that are similar to Ghost of Tsushima. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, we have new videos coming out multiple times a week, depending on what's happening in the world of games. And if you can't get enough, make sure you check out our other channels, which include Those Fake Nerds for nerd and pop culture news, Wicked Sports for sports news, Better Radio, which hosts all of our podcasts, and Wicked Scary, which is our newest channel where we cover cryptids and urban legends. Thank you so much for checking this one out, and I will see you in the next one.